Top of it, top of it, top of it. It's your boy Coach One Stack at it, man. We at it again this morning. Can you dig it? If you're new to the channel, man, good morning. Coming from Las Vegas. Hey, if you're new, man, hit that subscribe button for me one time. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm dropping these videos. And guys, remember, man, to hit the share button, man, and pass this channel on. You dig what I'm saying? Now, the name of this video is Kings Are Born, Queens Are Made. Now, it's going to be a little bit controversial. So what you mean, One Stack? First of all, you have to know what a king is and how important a king was back in the day. You know, back in ancient times, right? If a young boy, the firstborn child, that was a boy of any family, that was the person who was going to be heir to the throne. So having a boy was super important back in ancient times. Having a boy. It's the boys who had the value, because the boys were the ones that were destined to be kings. And this is no knock against the women. A woman in ancient times was not even considered to be a real woman if she could not bear a son. These are a lot of reasons why kings were allowed to have as many wives as they wanted to back in those days, because the son was the most important one, because that was who was going to become heir to the throne. He was going to be the king one day and rule all over the world. Even in Asia, in certain parts of Asia, the youngest boy, the emperors, as they would call them in Asia, the emperor might be 8 years old, but he's a boy because he's being groomed now to be the king one day. Everything they're doing, they're getting him ready to become the king, because that's the most important position on the chessboard. That's the most important position in life. That's the most important position in a relationship, is the king. I'm not saying the queen is invaluable. You guys have heard my video on that. King Tut, King Tutankhamun, was only 12 years old, and he ruled with the iron fist. He was the king. But in order to do that, man, you had to be a man first. Now, see, being a man did not come from your age. It came from your state of mind and how you carried yourself as the king. Y'all follow me so far? You know what a king is? So now, as the king, understand, you being that king, you becoming the best version of yourself, you bossing up, you making something out of nothing. You're putting yourself through that intentional torture each and every day, waking up. Just like these young boy kings, sometimes they would put them out in the woods and for weeks at a time and make them survive so that they could come back and feel worthy. They would intentionally place themselves into suffering situations so that they could come through it on the other side, so they could be deemed as worthy to lead their people. That's what a king does. He calls shots because he's already been there. Now, how does that apply to today? Guys, as a king, you have to know something. As the king, you as a king can marry any, it could be the most ratchetest person in the world. It could be the ugliest person in the world. It could be the most low budget woman in the world that has not become the greatest version of herself. And because you are the king, she automatically elevates. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to automatically elevate whoever you're with because you are the king. Now, as a queen has to be married in to be a king. She does no elevation. She doesn't elevate the king. She doesn't elevate the king. So what I'm saying is, fellas, you guys have to be more choosy with who you choose to be your queen, who you choose to even speak to. See, you got a lot of these women out here, man, who call themselves queens, so to speak. They got all the plastic surgery. They got all the little waists. They got the BBLs. You know, they got the fake chests. You know, you look on Instagram, you look on TV, you know, like the Nicki Minaj's, you know, all these people dating these celebrities, right? These queens. But the one thing you don't see on most of their finger, you don't see a wedding ring on most of their fingers. Yeah, you're going to see all the designer clothes, the designer bags, all that good stuff. But the outcome is totally different. And most of these people, most of these women that you guys are putting above you because of their body, because of how they look, because of how they might, pop that mess, man, on this internet. You guys put them way up here, but in reality, they way down here because half of them are struggling. Half of them can't even pay their rent. It's a man doing that. Half of them are not even worth your conversation. And this is no knock to the women, guys. This is no knock to the women. I'm just putting y'all up on game. You are the one that when you become the best version of yourself, you are the one that elevates people. You are the one. You are the one. See, guys, in order to know where you're going in life, you have to know where you came from. That's why I'm letting y'all know, man, what a king does, what he's about, how he's groomed, how important it was to have a son, to also carry on your family name. Guys, you realize if you don't have a son, your family legacy dies with you. I'm not saying that a boy is more important than a girl. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you the game and how it was in ancient times and how important it was to have a son. You have women back in the days who would actually delete themselves if they could not bear the king a son, because that means that nobody could rule. But now back to modern times. You guys have to look at yourself as that same type of king. You have to know your importance. But most of all, you have to be able to prove that importance to yourself and to others around you, or else nobody's going to follow you. You have to be the best at everything that you do, the best at everything you do, whatever is in your lane. And I told you before, if you're scraping gum off the bottom of chairs at the movie theater, be the best at it. If you're in there trying to get your body right, work the hardest at it. If you're trying to read 2 books a month, and start reading 3, up your game, put yourself on a different level. Then you are going to have different selections. You're going to have different options when it comes to picking your queen. You don't have to just take anything. You don't have to be sitting up here, man, worried about the chick with the little fake little waist that been wearing a corset, the in proportion body, that we don't know in 10 years. We don't know if all that plastic and BBL fat is going to drip out of their body. You see what happened to K. Michelle? She said that's for a lot of you youngsters. You don't know how she's finna look. That's why I tell you, don't vibe off of how a person looks, but how they treat you. Now, a lot of the women, fellas, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. A lot of these women, they don't know what it feels like to be rejected. Men get rejected on a day-to-day basis. Even though you are that king, that's because a lot of their priorities are messed up. And that's fine, because you shouldn't take it personal, guys. Everybody's not meant for everybody. But what I'm trying to teach you how to do is to become the best version of yourself. And now you live that abundance mindset. Now you do some of the rejecting. You do some of the swiping through. You do some of the sifting through different people to find who best fits you. Who's going to be your queen? Who's going to be your helpmate? Who's going to be submissive to you? Who's going to help you live out your dreams? Right? Because at the end of the day, your dreams should be both of your dreams, not one person's dream. See, that's the problem with a lot of relationships these days. People are not on the same page. You got one person going this way, you got another person going that way. And if both people are going in different directions, how do you come together as one? That's why solidarity, discipline, and that king and queen stuff, man, they go hand in hand to try to build you as one to go up. But you must first become the best version of you. Now, I've taught you what a king is. I've taught you how important you are. I've taught you some of your purpose of why you are here. So who are you going to choose to make your queen? Are you going to be a little bit more selective? Are you going to be a little bit more picky like a lot of these women are? Because, guys, these women are picky. When they get all that stuff done to them, they go from a 3 to really a 7. They're not really a 8, 9, or 10. In so many words, these women, most of them. And that's no disrespect to these women. But because, when you sit around models, are swimsuit models, and you go to these cattle calls with different models and stuff, man, these women are dissecting them and telling them that they're overweight. I mean, they could be the baddest, tallest chick in the world with 2% body fat, and they're telling them that they're 7. They're telling them that they're ugly. So we're not the one that draws that line, man, for these women. It's other women that do this, and these other women that draw this line and tell them how fine they are per their standards. It ain't us as men. See, most of these women that you're dealing with, they're really like a bunch of 5, 6, and 7s in the grand scheme of things. And that's okay. It ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's who are you going to choose to be yours? You're a king, guys. You're a king. So understand, man, understand you're important as a king, understand your value, and understand as a king, you are the only one that can create a queen. A queen cannot be a queen unless a king marries her. Use your head. So with that being said, stop listening to what these women say about, oh, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. Well, if you're a queen, where's your ring? If you're a queen, where's your king? If you're a queen, why are you single? If you're a queen, why do you have no plans of being in a relationship or getting married? If you're a queen, because I don't know about you, but y'all go find me a queen that never had a king and come back and talk to me. You are the one that makes that queen. So what are you gonna do, guys? Now that you know better, you can do better. But make yourself the best version of yourself. Build your esteem of yourself into that king that you was meant to be, and you have more opportunities, you have more options, you have more choices. Thank you guys for watching this video. I want you to have a beautiful morning. And remember, guys, you are a king. You are meant to be great. You were bred to be great. Now all you have to do is embrace it, move in your purpose, become the best version of yourself, right? And everything else will follow when you find that right queen. Have a beautiful morning. God bless you. Goodbye.